Hello and welcome to Oz 10-Pin Epping in Melbourne with the excitement of the prestigious Australian Bowling Cup. You're watching Bowl Patrol Rollin Thunder with the nation's best bowlers teaming up to bowl for Australian glory. Featuring the triples Baker format with 6 teams of 3 players each. Each team contests 4 matches in qualifying, 2 points per win, 1 point per draw. Only the top 4 teams advance to the finals and then feature in a bowling battle for the Australian Bowling Cup. Today it's the last of our qualifying matches. 2 big blockbuster showdowns that will shape the top 4 qualifying to progress to the finals. Desperate points are needed today. So after 10 games played and just 2 to go in the qualifying rounds, let's have a look at the ladder. Moving to first after their win in round 4, Queensland Rollin Thunder. Second of the Vic Kingpins. This is tight, isn't it, when you have a look at it? Third, the NT Cyclone in 4th place, hanging on to a finals berth by the skin of their teeth, the New South Wales Hot Shots. And then the Vic All-Stars and the New South Wales Strike. Well, they both need a win if they are to play in the finals. Now, in round 4, we've got match 11 of Bowl Patrol Rollin Thunder. It is the Vic All-Stars. Adam Hayes is their captain. They need a win to play in the finals up against the NT Cyclone. Rebecca Vukalos, Matt Clegg and Sean Dunn, they've been on fire throughout. This will be a beauty. Adam, we spoke before round 3 saying you needed a win. You got one, and boy, you got it in style. You're right back into this now.
It was very nice to be able to pull that one off, throw some good shots at the end, and we all put in that game. They didn't carry the best, but we threw a good game, and I think we deserved the win.
Take that momentum now into round 4?
Absolutely, we get a win, and I think we're pretty good to be in the final 4.
Well, Beck, we head into the 4th and final round, and taking momentum into the finals would be terrific. I know you want to get the win first and foremost, though.
Yeah, definitely trying to keep the momentum up. We started slow last game, so I'm hoping that we'll get right on it and all business straight ahead.
Bowl Patrol Rollin Thunder continuing here with a round 4 match, and the Northern Territory Cyclone, well, they're pretty much assured a spot in the finals, but one team that isn't, Chris, of the Vic All-Stars, they need a win. If they do win, then the New South Wales Hot Shots will be out.
Yeah, absolutely. They need a win, and they need to win well as well. Just because of that pinfall, it's just so tight. So, yeah, win here. Belmo's team are out. But, yeah, they do need to win well just to secure their own spot.
Well, they did bowl very well in their last match after going down in their first 2 appearances. This their 4th and final match of qualifying. Northern Territory, Jeanette, have been terrific.
They've been amazing. I mean, on paper, when you compare them with other teams, you'd think, okay, they may be an outside chance, but they've done really, really well. As a group, they've consolidated and they've performed exponentially. They've got a lot of talent amongst them, and, Beck may not cover as many boards as the guys, but she's equally as accurate.
Well, they're sponsored by Planet 10-Pin, the Northern Territory Cyclone, and the Vic All-Stars, Win City Morwell.
And if there's any kids out there who think that they'd like to have a go at learning how to play this game, we invite them to be a member of Bowl Patrol. It caters for kids 6 to 12 years of age. It consists of an 8-session program, and everybody has fun. There's all sorts of scoring advantages, and they shorten the lane, so anybody can have a go.
Yeah, what a terrific program it is. Here we go now with the Vic All-Stars. Adam Hayes, the captain, to lead things off. He's been terrific in previous episodes. And, ooh.
Yeah, looks like he got that one a bit wide there. And I think he knew it too, because he pulled up on it pretty quickly. He's just having a think about it there.
So what will be going through his mind here, Chris, as far as, is there a way that he can look at sparing here?
I think he has to hit that 2-pin on the left-hand side, slide it across into the 6 and the 10. I think just because it is the first frame, instead of taking just the 2 count, I think you just go for it here.
This would be a special one if he gets it. We've seen some great spares in previous episodes, and we're not seeing one there.
Looks like he did have a crack at it. So, yeah, first frame, so if you're going to open a frame, that's the one to get it out of the way.
So Beck Vukalos, both captains going first.
Well, Beck always likes to lead. When she's in state teams, she likes to be the lead-off bowler. She prefers that, makes her feel comfortable, to feel the lanes wide open, and it's up to her to just execute. That's less stressful for her.
Terrific opportunity for her and Northern Territory to get things underway here with a big advantage. And she leaves one pin out there.
I think she really liked that shot, and it looks like it just crept up a little bit high there, leaving the 4 pin, but she'll go back and go for the spare as we just have a look at this shot now. Yeah, just in that last part of the lane, just crept up a little bit high.
So Beck Vukolos, Northern Territory Cyclone, looking for a spare.
Using her plastic ball so that it goes most direct towards the pin.
And got it.
Not the most perfect release, but thank God for plastic. It went straight at it.
Absolutely. And that's why you bowl with a plastic ball. You can muck up the release. It doesn't really matter as long as you hit your target.
We've seen some great reactions so far from all of our bowlers. Here's Tina Buxton. And gets a strike.
Great shot there from Dina. It's very much like the last couple of matches that she's been in on this tournament. She's just moved a little bit left. She's just slowing down the ball speed.
That's Dina's comfort zone. She performs at her best when she can stand left and project the ball to the right. If it's really, really tight up the edge or pretty direct the line, it's a little bit outside of her comfort area. So, you know, she loves to stand left and throw it right.
Matt Clegg with...
Solid 7-10. That 6 pin, normally with a 7-10, it'll be the ball that has just like died when it's hit the pocket. Just kind of let hit a bit flat. But if we watch this shot here, it comes back. That 6 wrapped around the 10. And that's a hideously unlucky break.
As a result, the bed posts are there.
He gets one.
Just takes his medicine there, takes the one. Here comes the Hall of Famer to get an early double, put him in an early lead here.
Terry Wenben.
And when we look at scoring, you know, par is 200, so a double here will cover that open frame and get him back on strike pattern.
And he gets it. So they double up in what is a must-win game.
A lot of desperation on Terry's face there. He knew how important that was early. Ball just goes down, comes in a little bit light, and he gets the pins to fall down.
The Vic All-Stars skip out to a lead. Sean Dunn. Need a strike here, and they don't get it.
Yeah, just coming in a little bit light, leaving the 2 and the 8. I think as soon as he let that go, he kind of pulled up on it early, so I don't think he quite got all of that. Just have a look. Just kind of drops the shoulders there a little bit. Yeah, just leaving the 2-8.
He did project it out to almost the 5 board, which perhaps just a tad too far to the right, but after seeing Matt's 7-10, no, it was better than going through the nose.
Absolutely.
Gets the spare. Adam Hayes, the skipper of the Vic All-Stars.
Looking to consolidate on the double that already exists. A turkey will give them a good base to go through the game, to get their nose in front.
Went to the World Championships in Detroit. And last year too in Vegas. 12 career 300 games for Adam Hayes, the skipper of the Vic All-Stars.
Oh,
and he's going to get it. Wow!
Adam Hayes with the deft touch there, taking out the 10 pin.
The wry smile going, oh, that was a bit lucky. He sends that way right. Mixes it up, around comes the pin, touches it, and over it goes.
And love the reaction too from the skipper.
Can't teach that.
There is a percentage of skill, but there is a certain percentage of luck.
Absolutely.
And it's amazing. The longer you bowl, the more luck you get.
Vukalos with a strike.
Yeah, great shot there from Beck, right on target. Exactly where she wanted to go. It's just one of those great shots that you throw and you know it's going to be a strike off the hand.
There's a little bit of deja vu again here with Northern Territory side.
SNT, middle of the game. Let's get into second gear.
Not a fan of a hot start, but they love a hot finish.
Well, the captain's led by example.
Still a possibility of a top score for them of 257 in opposition to Vic All-Stars. Possible top score of 277. And another strike for them, 4 in a row.
Just as soon as this fourth round started in this competition, the scores have just gone through the roof. They just know how important pinfall is, and the desperation is just leading to high scores. It's great to see.
Dina Buxton, outstanding.
And the Vic All-Stars, they're playing that wall shot, that really light pocket shot and looking for the mix so well. It seems to be working better than hitting solid pocket.
Matt Clegg. There he is. And it doesn't fall for him on that occasion.
Yeah, just coming in a little bit late there in the pocket. Had the pin go across, but just not quite to be.
Might be something as simple as to make a little 1-1 adjustment where he moves his feet one board to the right, his eyes one board to the right, and just cut down that big angle coming into the pocket. Oh, that's uncharacteristic of him.
And now it certainly is advantage the Vic All-Stars. And what this will mean is that the New South Wales Hotshots, it'll be good night to them.
And now the Cyclones, they have dug themselves out of some pretty big holes in this competition, but if Terry strikes here, it's almost an insurmountable lead.
Here's the veteran looking for a strike.
Oh, rolling, no.
Quite to be.
What a record he's got, Terry Wenban. 21 major or nationally ranked tournament wins throughout his career. Exceptional.
Almost as exceptional as that head of hair at that age. I am jealous.
And he's got it to stay up. He knows how lucky he was there.
And that's just the advantage that Terry has when he's one of probably the only bowlers here that when he goes at a corner pin, he uses his strike ball, and he's lucky that was his strike ball, otherwise that was in the gutter. Praising the man upstairs.
Well, the task is still a very, very tough one for the NT.
Yes.
And there's a strike. Sean Dunn with the strike.
Here comes the Cyclone. It's the start of something big, perhaps.
There's no doubt that, you know, they'll finish the game fighting.
Absolutely.
You know, they're at least, okay, Matt missed the single pin, but at least they've had each had a shot in the pocket for 2 strikes. So they found something they didn't have in the first 3 frames.
Adam Hayes. This in the 7th. And he gets a strike.
Great shot there from Adam. There's no debate on that one. That was 10 in the pit.
That was a real one.
Yeah, absolutely.
No wall shot. That was a real strike.
Still looking at a possible total of 256, the Vic All-Stars. Now Beck Vukalos to continue for the NT Cyclone. For a much needed double. With this shot here in the 7th.
Oh.
Misses.
Looked a bit left off the hand, just leaving the 3-6-10. And I think the bad thing for the Cyclone here is it looks like they are going to lose this match, but they're also losing a lot of pinfall, which isn't good.
Because just a reminder, I mean, points is paramount in regards to placings for the teams. But if in the event that there is a tie for any particular position, their total pinfall in the competition will dictate who will proceed to the match play final.
Gets the spare.
Nicely covered there by Beck.
Now we head to the 8th. The Vic All-Stars, Dina Buxton. Hasn't she found some form in the last couple of matches?
Absolutely. She hasn't looked like missing. The last one she did have was a little bit light, but other than that, she's just been right there.
In the 8th. And gets a strike.
Great shot there from Dina. Just keeping the pressure on. And yeah, with the Vic All-Stars here, it's really, really important for them to get a big pinfall just to secure that top 4 spot. Oh, sorry, they will have secured a top 4 spot already with the win, but to really move up and try and get into that first qualifying final.
Matt Clegg.
Oh, gosh.
Another split that's been left here.
Going from one extreme to the other.
It's like the conditions causing a bit of havoc here for the Cyclone.
Well, Matt Clegg, he had been in terrific form. Still want a confidence booster here to be able to get the spare, and he does. That's outstanding. What a great spare that is.
Great spare. Just keeping them alive.
Terry Wenban. Rolling the 9th frame here for the Vic All-Stars. Bowl Patrol, Rollin Thunder. And heard that big clap of thunder there by the veteran, Terry Wenban, with a strike.
Great shot there from the Hall of Famer.
Relief.
Relief for Terry's face.
I don't have to bowl another shot this game.
Just slaps the 10 pin out.
Lester skips the points to him and says, go out there and go again.
That's it, that's it.
That's why he's doing a lot of pointing
like,
back to the skipper.
Adam, you do it.
I think he's going, well, I don't have to worry about the 10th frame. You two fight it out, you know.
Sean Dunn. Strike. Rock solid from Dunn.
They'll still need a big finish here, the NT Cyclone.
Okay, so who's going to bowl the 10th frame?
Well, it is going to be the
Vic
skipper.
All-Stars. The skipper's up there. Keep the momentum going.
When in doubt, call the big dog. He'll step up.
Okay, if he strikes out, their score will be 256. Conversely, NT strike out, their maximum score is 191.
They've got the win here, the Vic All-Stars, which is what they set out to do initially. Now they just want to get as many pins as possible.
Yes.
There's a strike and keep that momentum going. This team, don't forget, folks, were 0-2 to start off. Bowl Patrol, Rollin Thunder.
As a team, up until now, they've averaged, you know, well over 215, and they've only won 1 game. You know, this will help them in more ways than one, as far as confidence moving forward, but also the high score and the win will assist them in positioning in the higher level.
Well, they're on track for the 2nd highest score of the tournament, as we've seen in previous episodes. There's been some very high scoring. And he gets another strike.
Lost that one off the hand again.
Well, I wasn't too sure. I don't know whether clawing showing the claw grip meant that he was hanging onto it too tight, or whether the opposite happened. It just, oops.
Yep. Got more than a handful of that. Just caught onto his hand and still got the result though.
See, it's funny, isn't it? You can do everything perfect and be left with a 7-10 split or even one standing. You make a mistake and there's a strike.
But that's the nature of the game, unfortunately. You know, you can throw an absolutely amazing shot and leave, as we've seen in previous shows, you know.
This to finish it off with 3 in a row, and he gets it. The skipper, Adam Hay. Hayes.
Absolutely great game there when they needed it. The Vic All-Stars, congratulations, guys.
256. Brilliant.
That was amazing. That was a well-executed game, with the exception of the first frame. But as you say, Chris, if you can open one, make sure it's the first one.
Well, since then, they went 4 strikes to spare, and then 6 strikes. Well done, Sean Dunn.
Still a very, very important 10th frame here for the NT team. It's going to come down to pinfall, and they really need to get all of these and just give themselves a chance. And what a tale of 2 tournaments for these 2 teams. You had the Cyclone that were 2-0, the only team that actually made it past 2 games and were undefeated. Then you had the team that hadn't won a game in 2 games, and now they've just swapped positions completely. It's just unbelievable, this tournament.
And they go into the finals now. The Vic All-Stars is one of the teams to really watch out for.
Absolutely.
Sean Dunn.
Oh, a wee bit wide.
Yeah, a little bit wide. Maybe caught on his hand a little bit. Look, that pop sound that he has when he releases the ball sounded a little bit louder, so I think it might have grabbed a little bit. Just slipped down.
But the fact that he lifts the ball up in the air,
yeah,
is where that pop comes into play. And 7-2 gives them a score of 177.
So 177, nowhere near enough, as the Vic All-Stars have done a terrific job here. They scored 256, and after losing their first 2 matches, they now finish with a 2-2 record. Back-to-back wins for the Vic All-Stars. Outstanding performance from them. Well, it was the Vic All-Stars here putting in a 5-star performance, Chris. They were outstanding.
Absolutely. This needed to have a big performance in this game. Got a few lucky ones, got a few breaks, but they were just clutch when they needed to be, and great performance by them.
A terrific performance from them. Jeanette, they're going to be a team that'll be hard to beat because, as you said to the skipper, 2nd highest score of the tournament.
Absolutely. 250 game is not to be sneezed at. But what was interesting is NT Cyclone had been on the right-hand line and had great success on that lane, but not this time. These guys got their confidence and played like they were there to win.
Yeah, they certainly did. A terrific job, Adam Hayes and the Vic All-Stars with the win.
Adam, you've got to be happy with that team performance.
Yeah, we've really bonded as a team, Jeanette. I think just a little bit of feeling out period in the early. We threw a bad game at the start, but since then we've really locked in, played the lanes how they should be played, and got some carry. It's good.
That score was the 2nd highest score we've had to date. It's now putting you up there in contention with 4 points. How confident are you for the finals?
Well, we've just gone north. We've thrown better games every time we bowled, and I don't see any reason why we can't continue. So we're feeling good. We like the lanes. We're bowling well. So, yeah, be good.
Here's a fun way for children to learn the sport of 10-pin bowling. Bowl Patrol is a program to teach kids aged 6 to 12 the basic skills. Why not learn how to bowl now with a qualified instructor? Go to bowlpatrol.com.au. Well, let's catch up again now with the CEO of 10-pin Bowling Australia, Cara Honeychurch. Cara, this has been fantastic, hasn't it? Bowl Patrol, Rollin Thunder, just tremendous. We've seen some great talent in action.
It's just been a pleasure to watch the event unfold. We've seen some amazing talent. Some of the players that have been out there I used to bowl with many years ago, and we've got some emerging talent as well. And I think Rolling Thunder really showcases what's great about our sport. Women and men can compete against each other on an equal footing. You can have youngsters like 17-year-old Jordan participate and compete against seniors such as Terry Wenban, who've been in the sport for many years. And there's not many sports that can do that. Showcases an amazing array of talent, and the scores have been fantastic. It's just been a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, 17 to 63, the age span in the tournament, unbelievable. And as you said, the high scores, and in this format with 3-person format, we've had a score of over 250 a couple of times. It's been tremendous.
Yeah, it has, and it's a very difficult format for the bowlers to score so highly when you're only throwing 1 ball every 3 frames. It makes it that much more challenging. So to see such high scores just goes to show how talented the crop of bowlers that we have in this country really is.
Well, it's been a great success so far, and we look forward to going strength to strength.
Absolutely, looking forward to next year already.
Bowl Patrol, Rollin Thunder continues after the break with a battle brewing in the final showdown in qualifying. Welcome back to Bowl Patrol, Rollin Thunder. You're watching Australia's best 10-pin bowlers in action here at Oz 10-pin Epping in Melbourne. Here we go with the final qualifying match of the series. As we head into the last game of qualifying, how tight is this ladder? On first, we have the Queensland Rollin Thunder team on 6, the only team that is 100% guaranteed of being in the finals. Then we have 3 teams on 4 points. The Vic All-Stars, Northern Territory, and the Vic Kingpins. On 2 points, the New South Wales Strike. They can get themselves to 4. Unfortunately for the Hotshots, they're only on 2 points and their campaign is over.
Glenn, heading into the all-important 4th round, and I suppose you just want one where everything comes together and you don't have to rely on everything happening in the 10th.
Yeah, that's it. You know, the last loss was a bit tough to take, but we got to own that. The last match is all on the line and we'll be out there willing to strike and hopefully we get a win and results go our way.
Yeah, such a tight competition. If you can get yourself to 2-2, you're right in there, aren't you?
Yeah, we think so. A good game with a win. We think we're right in there with a chance to get into the finals.
It's over to go into the final round by the massive margin of being in front by just 4 pins. It's tight, isn't it?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anything can happen. I mean, yeah, touch wood, we could slip out, but as long as we just keep sparing like we have been, throwing good shots, hopefully we should be right.
Is that what the key is? You have had some tricky situations or a bit of bad luck as well, especially on the first bowl, but you've been able to not leave too many open frames out there.
Yeah, that's really helped us. Obviously, you're saying 4 pins a difference with first and second, so yeah, spares are obviously going to help out in that sort of instance.
The Australian Bowling Cup, it is Rollin Thunder, Bowl Patrol Rollin Thunder, and we are down to the final qualifying match. Jason Belmonte has rejoined us, and Jason, unfortunate for you, despite putting in some pretty good performances out there, coming up short in very tight competition.
Yeah, no, I don't like this tournament one little bit anymore. I thought I did, but I don't. Look, you know, that's how bowling goes, right? I mean, unfortunately, you're trying to hit 10 little white things down the other end of the lane, and if they don't want to fall down for your team and they want to fall down for the other guys, they're going to beat you. So now that I'm out of the tournament, I get to enjoy these matches now and focus more on, you know, critiquing their bowling rather than hoping certain teams win or lose. So I can really just enjoy the bowling.
So it is the Vic Kingpins up against the New South Wales Strike. Kingpins to get things underway here through Nick Davis. And he has been on fire. He gets a strike.
Local boy does good again. It's his home centre. He knows the place intimately. And he just loves bowling here.
Yeah, I mean, and this is his first time on television, bowling on television. It's the first time I've actually really had an up-close look at his style. Been a fellow two-hander. It's always nice to see a fellow two-hander do well, and he's really performed great this tournament. His strike percentage has been high, and he's really helped his team win those matches.
And he Kim to get things underway here for the team, and they do get a strike for the New South Wales Strike. And they need a win.
Yeah, well, this is how it's looking, right? The New South Wales Strike will need to win this game to advance to the semi-finals, and if they win, they will need to bowl at least 200, actually probably a little less than 200. I haven't seen the scores exactly. I think it's 197 or higher to guarantee themselves into the semi-finals.
It is going down to the wire. Jaden Pinella, and he gets a strike.
And I think it was Porto called that shot halfway through. There it is, just before it hits the pocket, and sure enough it was.
So there we have it there. What a great strike.
That was awesome. They started beautifully with a double. New South Wales 1 in a row. And Jordan up for the second bowler.
Jordan Dinham, the 17-year-old.
Oh.
And
that
can't keep the roll going.
3-6-10.
Yeah, it's a tricky spare. I mean, it looks simple enough, but there are 1,000 ways to miss it and only a couple of ways to get it. So the textbook style is we're going to want to see Jordan kind of go to the right side of the 3-pin and have the ball deflect into the 6 and the 10.
Jordan gets it.
And of course, using the plastic is a help because it straightens down any issues. If the ball goes direct towards the pins, you just aim it in the right place, and by definition, it should be there.
Yep, absolutely. Using bowling balls that change direction less for your spares is always a wise thing for those at home that are interested in improving their spare percentage. Straighter is generally always greater.
The captain of the Vic Kingpins, David Porto. Here he is, and he can't keep the roll going for his team.
No, it's a mirror image of what Jordan left, but on the left-hand side of the lane. So we have the 2-4-7. Same rules apply for the lefty, just the opposite way now. So he's going to want to get that ball to the left side of the 2-pin. Use a plastic ball there by the looks of it. There it is, a change of ball. This is the plastic ball. Will go a little straighter than his reactive strike ball. To the left side of that 2-pin, covers it perfectly.
Yeah, he gets it well.
It's almost like these guys know how to bowl.
Do you think?
These guys know what they're doing.
But it's interesting with Porto. It's almost like he releases it the same, but knows that the plastic's not going to do a hell of a lot, so it just goes straight for him, you know?
Yep, that's exactly what is ideal about that plastic ball, is you can release it with the same release as you do a reactive ball, but that plastic cover makes it go a lot straighter.
The captain of the New South Wales strike, Glenn Loader. He almost delivered.
So far in this tournament, Glenn has executed very, very well. He couldn't buy a strike if he tried. He's been around the pocket, He's had some bad luck with pocket 7-10, light hits. He's around there, it's just not quite there.
You're not going to get too much sympathy from the men sitting to our right here.
No, I have zero sympathy for Glenn. I've seen it every single match that I've been myself. But yes, his team is going to want to see that ball, just get that little bit of extra luck to start striking. But I think it all comes down to these next 3 to 4 frames. If one of these teams can string them together, it'll put a lot of pressure on the other team.
Well, here is Nick Davis, and he's been unable to strike here.
Just send it a fraction too far right. Looking at that break point there, about 6-7 board. Still left a lot of ground to recover to make the pocket, so that's a long way to come back from.
Looking for the spare here.
Yeah, we call this the sleeper. Ben, there's a pin behind the 2-pin. Can be a little tricky at times, but not today, not for Nick. Spared that very textbook style as well.
And he's done very well with his performances right throughout the tournament. Nick Davis, one of the qualifiers. So Sean Dunn, a qualifier from the Northern Territory Cyclone.
Just on that spare shooting with sleepers, a lot of people still use plastic to go for the sleepers. Jason, what's your thoughts on using plastic versus using their first ball to go for a spare with a sleeper?
Yeah, I usually like to curve my reactive ball at a sleeper pin because I know if I get that ball coming into a curve into those 2 pins, I have a much greater percentage of making that. If it's a little straighter, from a little left or a little right, it's hard to get that sleeper pin.
Correct.
And he Kim there with another strike. Been terrific in all the matches so far.
She's so strong through the ball. I mean, her swing is so vertical, but yet she gets to the line and has all the time in the world to execute.
Jaden Pinella, 20 years of age. With the 5th frame. And jumping up and down, almost willing it to go. The 10 stays up.
Yeah, the messenger coming across just couldn't get the love tap on the 10-pin. That's one of those frustrating ones. It's the shot where you see the pin coming across and at first you're like, oh, I left the 10-pin. Oh, hang on a second, there's a chance. and then it misses, and then you come back down to reality again and be like, oh no, I'm going to shoot the spare all over again.
Well, it's also made it interesting because with the New South Wales team on a strike, now they've got a chance to catch up on the score. So middle of the game is very important.
Absolutely. Now, Victoria, I mean, their goal right now is to stay in front of the Northern Territory Cyclones. The Kingpins have 4 points themselves. The Cyclones have 4 points, but a total aggregate of 813. So right now, the Kingpins, all they need to do is make sure that they stay above the 180s. Even if they lose, they'll still make it through to the semi-finals.
He gets a strike there, young Jordan. This is a tight one, the final match of qualifying. Bowl Patrol, Rollin Thunder continuing here with the Vic Kingpin skipper. It is David Porto in action. Another high quality match. Both teams still capable of scoring above 250. And he didn't like that one from very early on, did David Porto.
Now the hands came up straight away. That's a pretty good indication that the bowler wasn't happy with the way that he let it go. It's another shot that's inside of his target. You know, Dave really needs to kind of trust that ball. Let that ball go to the outside part of the lane. Let it see the friction to the left side and let that ball curve in. Right now, he's kind of trying to jam it in the middle of the lane, but with those extra rotations that he has, it's just not going to hold towards the pocket. So he's got to give himself a little room, trust the ball to do its job.
Change the ball for the attempted spare, and he leaves an open frame. And that leaves now to net a big opening here for the New South Wales strike.
Wow, it certainly does. I mean, in competitive circles, if for New South Wales, I know normally Glenn would say, right, now's the time for me to put the pedal to the metal and get one more. You know, really get our nose in front.
Here we go. Glenn Lowe to the captain. With his shot. And gets a strike. And boy, didn't he like that one.
Certainly did. He's thrown good shots, and carry has been his problem. He's thrown this one so good. Solid pocket. 7-pin a little bit late to fall, but it fell eventually.
Yeah, now Nick really needs to settle the ship for his team here. Like I said, they've got to stay in the 180s, high 170s to still progress. So a couple of good shots here. There's one.
One down.
Another one from Jaden coming up. And then one more really good shot from their captain. And then the result is no longer required, just the pinfall.
Well, the Vic All-Stars have the potential of being able to shoot 230. At the moment, the New South Wales team are on a pace to shoot 269.
And it is Min Hee Kim. And she has her shot and just leaves one pin standing. So unable to strike there.
Yeah, no harm, no foul there. She's
broke up the sleeper.
Yep, broke it all up, left herself a very simple 3-pin conversion. Her job will more than likely, maybe she'll bowl the 10th frame, but this will be it for a little while. Just needs to make sure she makes a cover. And you could probably set that pin up 1,000 times and she's going to spare it 1,000 times.
Rock solid there from Min Hee Kim.
And with the Koreans and their training, and, you know, you're frightened to miss a spare, you know, in a training session over there, so they're very disciplined.
Yeah, it's probably something we should bring here to Oz. Bring that very strict regimental training program. We're probably a little bit more relaxed here.
Here is young Jaden. And he gets a strike. And the teammates are fired up. Still terrific scoring.
The Kingpins really want to finish this off. They want to come home with a high score. There's been great scores of late in the last couple of shows, and these teams want to try and match those scores.
Jordan Dinham. And he gets a strike.
I would love to get a heart rate monitor on this kid. I feel like it's the same no matter what situation he's in. He's bowling here in one of the biggest tournaments in Australia on television. Calm, collected, smile on his face. You know, I'd probably bet that heart rate hasn't changed all day.
Well, you'd probably want a set of batteries there to check the monitor's working, because it wouldn't change.
Now, it's a great quality to have it in a champion player, to be able to keep your emotions under control and execute your best deliveries without that heart rate getting in the way.
Oh, wow. 3 shots in a row, Porto's gone high. Just, as you say, hasn't trusted it, hasn't projected it closer to the gutter. Perhaps a little bit of early rotation in there as well.
Yeah, their magic number is 174, and an open frame here would make things incredibly interesting should they move into the semi-finals. A spare here will make things a lot easier.
Yes.
And there's the spare from the skipper.
Their score potential now is looking at 208 if they bag out with 3 strikes in the 10th. New South Wales potentially are looking at 248.
Yep, a strike here from the captain, Glenn Loader, will mean that I'm assuming it will either be Glenn will finish this off, or perhaps
Jordan or Minnie.
Yeah, it could be Minnie. I mean, I would probably choose Miss Kim for sure, but that would just make things a hell of a lot easier. That one's going a little to the right, reads it great. Ooh. Couldn't get the 10 pin to fall.
He's done that regularly, hasn't he? Glenn Loader.
Still, that's all they need to do, make this spare.
And that's it.
The W is just around the corner.
Stay clean.
Game over. It's all going to come down now to the Vic team and what they do in their 10th frame should Glenn make it, and he does.
He does. He does do that. This has been a good performance by the New South Wales strike. Captain Glenn Loader, along with teammates Min Hee Kim and Jordan Dinham.
So Jaden now just needs a good ball, knock over a relatively high count. 3 pins is actually all he needs to get there.
Well, he got 9 of them.
Yep, 9's enough, and being the fact that he didn't strike, New South Wales now no longer need to do anything except stay behind the foul line and keep the ball in the lane. And you will see that these 2 teams will advance to the semi-finals. And unfortunately for the Northern Territory Cyclones, that poor performance in their last match will see them bow out.
Wow. After they started off so well in the tournament as well. What a tight competition it has been. There's the spare.
There's a spare. Put a cap on it for a 197, but as you say, that is enough pins for them to progress to the semi-finals.
Jaden Pennella, 20 years of age. The skipper, David Porto, giving him the responsibility to close things out here. Mind you, we could well have a 17-year-old close things out for the New South Wales strike. We'll find out in just a moment. And
no.
Just touched the 10, but it stayed up. And it is going to be A score of 196 for the Vic Kingpins. So 196 they finish on.
Now the 10th frame. Ooh. Glenn Loader to finish the 10th frame.
Here he is, and leaves one standing.
Okay, 9's fine. 9's fine.
So they go to 206.
Yeah, I think Glenn thought, you know, the match is going to be over. I'm the captain. I might want to throw another shot on television here. have a little practice, get a little bit more TV time.
That's it.
Makes the cover and gets his extra shot.
And he makes no mistake there. There's the skipper. He'll be looking to finish off in style. A strike will give them a score of 217.
Yeah, it won't be too many times you'll see a team lose and still be happy, but that's exactly what's happened to the Kingpins. They've lost the match, but they will continue on into the semi-finals.
Here is Glenn Loader. And the 10 stays up, but it doesn't matter. It's all academic. They have won here, the New South Wales Strike. And they finish with 2 wins and 2 losses. Another one of the teams on 4 points after the qualifying rounds. Well, Jeanette, we saw the New South Wales Strike getting the job done. The Vic Kingpins got underway to a terrific start, but they're consistent throughout the New South Wales Strike team.
Well, it appeared that both teams were aware that they needed to score well. As far as the Victorian team, they knew they needed to score well to make through to the next round. New South Wales knew that they needed a win. So by the performances they put out, their objective was just to stay clean, get the job done and win the points.
And the New South Wales team certainly did get the job done there, despite efforts like that by Nick Davis. Here's young Jordan Dinham, terrific. He put in a great performance, as did his teammates as well. And a big win there for the New South Wales Strike. This is how the ladder looks. On top, Queensland Rollin Thunder, and they'll take on the Vic All-Stars as they finished 1 and 2 in the finals. A knockout final awaits for the next 2 teams. Vic Kingpins up against the New South Wales Strike. The Kingpins in 3rd, the Strike in 4th, and then it's goodbye to the competition. The Northern Territory Cyclone and the New South Wales Hotshots just missing out on making the finals.
Well, Glenn, interesting, high scoring, but yet both teams, based on that, have got through to the semi-finals.
Yeah, we knew with the previous results of that last round we needed a win. It turns out our game was high enough, which is fantastic for New South Wales Strike.
NT Cyclone just miss out. Both Victorian teams through. Who do you want to play?
Anyone really. You know, we want to strike, they want to strike, so as long as we can put on a good show, and of course that we win, that's all that matters, so it doesn't really matter who our opponent is.
Good luck in the finals.
Thanks very much.
Here is a fun way for children to learn the sport of 10-pin bowling. Bowl Patrol is a program to teach kids aged 6 to 12 the basic skills. Jeanette, what a great program this is to get the very youngsters involved from, what, the age of 6?
It's fantastic. The kids at all ages, they have different lengths, as we can see, different length carpets depending upon their skill level. They learn the basics and then they graduate as they go along.
It's an 8-week program and all sorts of games for them to get involved, and as we're seeing, numbers are increasing each year that we have Bowl Patrol in action.
It's fantastic. The best part about it is that the kids are actually getting in from the parents' perspective and they're learning something. They're not just being put on the lanes and left to their own devices.
It's an 8-week program. For all the details, head to the website bowlpatrol.com.au. Join us next time when we return with the finals of the Australian Bowling Cup, a knockout and a grand final qualifier. So please join us to see the knockout game between the Vic Kingpins and the New South Wales Strike. And the qualifying final, the Queensland Rollin Thunder team will take on the Vic All-Stars. This is Bowl Patrol Rollin Thunder. Bye for now.